Hello, hi, hello everyone. Glitch here, back with another video about JJK. I'm going to come back to my roots and like say stuff about JJK. If you can't tell, or if you could tell by the no ringing in the back of my mic, I've gotten a new mic. So that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, today the topic of the video will just be how strong is Sukuna, like how strong would Sukuna be at his prime, to give an accurate basis of Sukuna's strength, right? First we have to go over, okay, how strong would past 20 finger Sukuna be. Then we'd have to, since Sukuna's fingers are stated by Getsu, I'll put the scan up here. It is stated that he gets stronger, the fingers get stronger as time goes on. Therefore, 20 finger Sukuna then and 20 finger Sukuna now will be vastly different strengths. So then I need to give scaling of 15 finger Sukuna now. So that then, if I have give scaling of 15 finger Sukuna now, then we can just upscale Sukuna, right, higher, right? So yeah. To start off with, how strong is past 20 fingers Sukuna? Well, we know by Kenjaku that he states that the strongest person he knows to Ryu, right, when he's one like in a flashback, he states the strongest person he knows, or he states it to Kenjaku, I don't really know, is Sukuna, right? This means that Sukuna would scale above people like old Kenjaku, would scale above people like Ryu, which he definitely has knowledge on because he makes a comment about Ryu's cursed energy output, which he's pretty famous for. So Ryu is pretty famous. So he's above Ryu at the very least. Ryu is shown like relative to Sukuna, and yeah, Ryu's not shown relative to Sukuna. I misspoke. Ryu is shown relative to Yuta. You could argue that Yuta would be above 15 finger Sukuna currently because of that one Yuji statement, but personally I think that contradicts the statement made by Gojo that fingers get stronger over time. Hypothetically, it could mean that even though Sukuna's fingers are getting stronger, it isn't enough to change 20 fingers in the past being above 15 fingers. I'm going to leave that up to your interpretation. So, yeah, that's up to you guys to interpret. And then, to move on, we just have, okay, yes, even though 20 fingers should be weaker than Gojo based off of Gojo's statement, Gojo is shown very knowledgeable about past events, as when he like completely recalls, right? That's why he completely and fully recalls what killed the former master of the Gojo clan and the Zenin clan. He knows about their fight in the distant past, so Gojo does have an accurate or grounded knowledge in past events. He thinks he'd beat Sukuna. Whether you think he's arrogant or not, that's up to you. I personally don't think that there's anything backing that up, but you guys can interpret it as you like, as you want to. So yeah. So 20 fingers in the past should be above 15 finger and below Gojo. That's what we have. 15 fingers from now, even though he should be below 20 fingers in the past, right? 15 fingers is shown just being able to manhandle Gojo, right? And oh no, not manhandle Gojo, I mean manhandle Jogo. He's also shown being relative to Mahoraga, right? Mahoraga is just like implied to be really strong, stronger than Jogo. Jogo is like stated relative to Naobito in speed. If you really want to highball him, I disagree with that scaling because he doesn't like actually know how strong Naobito and how strong Jogo is. Therefore, right, I think that at the very least he should have like scaling to be above one finger, maybe if you stretch. But Sukuna is just shown vastly above him. Sukuna is also compared to Gojo in terms of presence, which could establish a form of low-end relativity between the two of them. However, we know that people like Yuta, who are stated to have a creepier presence than Gojo, is still vastly weaker than him. So yeah, but Sukuna should be definitely massively above people like Dalgon, blah blah blah. But that really isn't that much for Gojo, or the top tiers, which is just Gojo and Kenjaku. I think that for Sukuna, the best place you should place him is at second. I don't necessarily think that Kenjaku would be stronger than Sukuna, because his entire character is releasing a force he can't control into the world. If Kenjaku states it himself. I made a video on Kenjaku in the past. Go check that out, right? So here Kenjaku himself wants to make a threat, or wants to make, right, how do I explain this? He wants to make a force he can't control himself, and that force is reviving Yuji through reviving Sukuna through Yuji. So that could imply that he can't necessarily manipulate Sukuna, or it could be he can't control him through force. Interpret it how you wish, but I think this could mean that he's like below Sukuna, as well as the fact that if he's like, oh, nothing I've created can surpass my own potential, so Kenjaku might have potential equal to Yuji's, right? So, and if Kenjaku has potential equal to Yuji's, and Yuji is just like someone who could potentially surpass Gojo, and like even Kenjaku with all of his potential doesn't think he can control Sukuna, then that's another way you could put Sukuna above Gojo. I don't necessarily think this is true, because not only one, because I'm a bit biased towards Gojo, I'm joking, but two, because we don't know if Kenjaku's like fulfilled his potential. For example, characters with limitless potential throughout like manga, all of that stuff, characters with quote-unquote limited potential, right? None of them, or some of them, have fulfilled their limitless potential. Others haven't. So just because in his current state he can't control Sukuna, right, doesn't necessarily mean that full potential he would be unable to. We just don't know that to be the case. But also, we don't know if Kenjaku knows that Yuji can absorb Sukuna's abilities. He hypothetically might, since he's like described as a knowledge anti through the series. So you could make a good argument for that, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. But to stop me from rambling on forever, like further on, in conclusion, I just think Sukuna in his prime in 20 Fingers should be at least weaker than Gojo, because of the statement by the author of the show, stating that Gojo is the strongest in the manga, and above people like Kenjaku, who I believe should be the third strongest currently. So yeah, that's basically it. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a nice day. This has been Glitch, and I'm out.